Hey Drew, welcome back to the channel. In this video, I'm going to be talking about having your Sun conjuncting your partner's North Node in Synastry. So when it comes to having this aspect in your relationship with somebody else, this can make for a very positive impact on the relationship, and the relationship's going to be pretty heavily based on helping each other to grow and even to be able to develop talents, and it can have that effect on both of the partners. And when it comes to the Sun person in this relationship with the North Node person, the Sun person gives off or shows qualities that the North Node person can find very admirable and also can feel like they need to also learn from the Sun person. Even when it comes to feeling like it's something that they want to be able to take on for themselves and learn for themselves, the North Node person might not yet be aware of this, but the Sun person can have that impact on the North Node person. But when it comes to this relationship between the Sun person and the North Node person, if there's going to be any kind of pushback, the North Node person is going to be the one who's going to be a little bit hesitant. And especially if there are other more favorable aspects in the chart, then the North Node person is the one who's being taken out of a comfort zone when it comes to embracing their relationship with the Sun person here. And because of this, they could feel a bit of hesitancy or a fear of moving forward with the Sun person, or they could do it with a bit more fear. Even though this aspect brings this sense of an instant connection between the two partners, they can have that sense of an instant friendship being formed between the two of them. It is possible that in a relationship, the North Node person can feel challenged when it comes to having to step out of a comfort zone, because this is their North Node, and depending on the North Node person, they could feel uncomfortable or even nervous, especially when it comes to any kind of changes that the relationship can bring to them. Even though it's a very exciting relationship and it's full of a lot of potential, it's going to grow them, both the Sun person and the North Node person, through this relationship with each other. And with it being also a sign that the relationship's going to have a lot of excitement and a lot of potential encouragement for being able to grow through any kind of experiences that they do go through together, they can also experience that the relationship between the Sun person and the North Node person is one that acts as something that's pushing them both in a positive way when it comes to being able to be better, to achieve more. It can be very motivating in this way, and it can also be very encouraging for both of them on their journeys. And one especially positive thing is how much excitement comes with this aspect into the relationship. When it comes to the North Node and the North Node being involved here, it can be very helpful, especially for the future path, and it's going to be helpful when it comes to putting the North Node person in a position to be closer to their ideal future path. And with this relationship with the Sun person, it's going to come with lessons that are going to be needed for them to experience and learn from being with the Sun person in this lifetime. Especially for the North Node person, their relationship with the Sun person is also going to shine a light on unrealized potential within them, and it's going to bring out or show to them parts of themselves and qualities within themselves that need to be developed are going to be shown to them through this relationship with the Sun person, who's going to be shining a light on it. Whether it is consciously or it's unintentionally, the Sun person is illuminating certain parts of the North Node person that they need to be able to work through, grow through, and develop so that they can be more in alignment with their purpose, which can bring with it an even greater sense of fulfillment, which can also be why the North Node person can be very drawn to the Sun person at first. It can feel very inspired by the Sun person, and they can feel like the connection that they have with the Sun person is one that is very fulfilling, and this relationship can feel like it's very purpose-driven with the Sun person, and that can be because the Sun person is very supportive of the North Node person in ways that are leading them to being on the right path when it comes to their life mission, and even achieving their highest potential and being able to develop and tap into those talents and growing in various ways that they are still growing in this lifetime. So this relationship can be very progressive, especially for the North Node person, because the Sun person is providing a lot of energy and motivation to the North Node person in ways that are moving them forward. When it comes to the synastry of having the Sun conjuncting your partner's North Node, this does show that there could be a karmic tie between the two partners, and that they could have experienced or shared a past life in some way, and that could be something that's being continued in the present life. And in some ways, they could both pick up on this, and they could feel like they both have a part to play in each other's life path in this lifetime and in each other's destiny. And this relationship can be one that's a very deep soul connection between the Sun person and the North Node person, which they both can strongly feel like they both have an essential role to play in each other's journeys. With this aspect, the relationship can be a pretty helpful one, especially when it comes to being able to experience getting over any kind of fears or any kind of insecurities. And it can be quite transformative for both the partners, and they can experience that it comes with a long-lasting impact or influence on both of them as individuals in this lifetime. Any lessons that they do learn through this relationship, they will carry with them for the rest of their lives. And that is, even if it doesn't last forever, they will still have that growth that comes with having had shared this experience. And they carry with them the lessons that they learn from it as well, which could be seen in even how they show up in future relationships and the way that they choose to approach them after having had dealt with this relationship. And some positive things about having this aspect is in how both the partners can have this very shared vision and be looking at things in very similar ways when it comes to what their goals are, what they're trying to achieve. And they can be on the same page when it comes to the bigger things, the goals and their dreams that they're working towards. They can have a lot of those types of things in common, and even being inspired by each other to want to dream bigger and want to achieve more. Having this aspect with someone can bring the sense of purpose in the best ways, and they can help each other and have that shared common vision for what they're trying to achieve. However, when it comes to the more challenging sides of the synastry between the Sun person and the North Node person, for the Sun person, they are in a space that's very inspiring to the North Node person. They are very confident, showing traits and qualities that the North Node person can feel very inspired by. But the Sun person can also be very much taking the lead and comfortable in a more leadership position with the North Node person. And with that, the North Node person also needs to be able to follow their own lead, because the North Node person is discovering their own journey and their own path, and so they need to still also be able to stay true to that and not just follow the Sun person's lead. It's also possible that the North Node person may not be in a position where they feel comfortable being able to embrace this relationship with the Sun person, because for the North Node person, they're more so in the space of feeling a bit hesitant or even feeling like they are being pushed out of their comfort zone, which can be uncomfortable for the North Node person. And so depending on other aspects in the chart, the North Node person may not view this relationship with the Sun person as one that's something they would like to enter into. And while it is a very powerful and potentially very positive aspect to share with someone, and also very essential, especially on somebody's life journey, this aspect can also bring with it some internal conflict, and it can be a bit challenging, even when it is bringing the qualities of experiencing growth. So the partners can experience growth through very harsh and difficult experiences, but they can also experience the growth through very positive and very supportive ways with each other. Take, for instance, if the North Node person has their own Sun squaring the North Node, then they can experience a lot of internal conflicts in this relationship. And that feeling of conflict can really be experienced between their sense of identity and their life path, their purpose in this lifetime. And this relationship with the Sun person, for the North Node person in this case, can be one that's really bringing to light any issues where the sense of self and where they are headed in this lifetime feels like it is in conflict, like there's a tension. And the Sun person can really bring these issues to the North Node person's attention, where the North Node person might experience a feeling of their sense of self being in conflict with where they are headed, and they may need to work a little bit harder to be able to integrate their sense of self and identity with their destined path. And the relationship with the Sun person can also help them when it comes to this, but it happens by the relationship with the Sun person bringing to light and bringing to their attention these issues in their relationship with the Sun person. And in this case, what can be created is feeling of being pulled in two different directions when it comes to the sense of being true to oneself, and also being able to stay on one's path or be able to discover their purpose through this relationship. And this synastry aspect can actually bring a lot of self-awareness when it comes to the individuals in this relationship, and learning a lot about themselves, while also being able to experience mutual support on the path to getting to where they want to get to and what they strive to. And even just realizing that, like, say for instance, you had your North Node in Virgo and you had your Sun sign in Sagittarius, a sign that squares Virgo, and your Sun sign is squaring your partner's Sun sign. In this case, with this aspect, you really come to find that transformation and growth can really be experienced and come about through harshness and difficulty and challenges, just as much as it can come through something more pleasant, something more amicable, something that feels more like friendship instead of the tension. In both cases, the transformation and the growth is still going to be there and can actually be quite powerful and significant on someone's journey. And no matter what, they're going to both experience a lot of growth and also feeling of self-improvement. And this conjunction can really intensify this aspect between the two partners, which can make their relationship one that has a very deep bond between the two of them. The conjunction here can make it especially an intense feeling within this connection, and they can also feel it very strongly, and like they are very drawn to each other because of the conjunction between the Sun and the North Node here. Well, that does it for this video on having your Sun conjuncting your partner's North Node in synastry. Thank you so much for watching the video. I hope you found it helpful and you enjoyed it. And if you did, please be sure to give this video a thumbs up and to subscribe to this channel for more videos. Well, that is where I love and leave you. Thank you so much for watching, and I will catch you in the next video. Bye, guys.